If you're late, you get to the mess as soon as possible, grab your food, run to the class.
The classes start sometimes at 8:30 or 9:30 and they last till 4:30 or 5:30.
Student life at Bennett for me is pretty hectic, but because I enjoy everything I do, it's fun most of the time.
We get free by 5:30. We're done for the day by 5:30, and after that it's our time.
So the mess is basically the hub of Bennett University. Every student after the classes, before the classes, evening time, be it day, be it morning, be it dinner time, you're going to find majority of the students sitting inside the mess, basically hanging out with their friends.
We keep on having events and competitions every week, so these things never let, life at Bennett get boring.
When I'm just free, so I can go up to the music room to jam up with someone.
In the last 8 months, for which I've lived in the hostel, I've changed completely. It's like I've become independent, I do my stuff on my own. Basically, I don't have mom around, so everything falls onto me.
It really helps me build myself into the person I want to be.
We have a football ground, we have lawn tennis courts, we have basketball courts, we have badminton courts, we have a swimming pool, we have an entire gym, and I try to utilize the max out of it. This is me, and this is my university, Bennett University.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Saturday evening edition of webinar with students organized by Bennett University, where we discuss about a particular program. We talk about the curriculum, the pedagogy, the infrastructure, internship and placement opportunities, and we also discuss about the hostel facilities and campus life. My name is Anirban, and I'm part of the admissions, marketing and outreach team at Bennett. And today we'll be discussing about a very important program in the field of engineering. We'll be talking about the BTech in mechanical engineering. And what better way to find a feedback about the program as a whole and about the university than to take it from the students themselves. And for that purpose, I've got 3 students representing the Department of Mechanical Engineering with me. Firstly, I've got Saustav Roy, who is from the batch of 2019 and 23, representing Bennett University Mechanical Department. I've got Gokul Sehgal, who is from the batch of 2020, and also I've got Puru, who is from the batch of 2021, if I'm not wrong, right? So all these students are wonderful ambassadors from the university and are representing the Department of BTech Mechanical Engineering. So before we begin the session, I would like to brief all the audience who are watching us live in YouTube that the entire session would be of 30 minutes. And we've got a host of questions from students and parents, especially from the students who are willing to study the course of BTech Mechanical Engineering at Bennett University. And we have segregated the most relevant ones, which we're going to place in front of Saustav, Gokul, and Puru. And while they answer the questions, I'm sure most of the doubts that are in the mind of the students or the parents would be clear in this session. So without wasting any time, allow me to ask the first question, and that would go to Saustav because he is the senior most right now sitting amongst the students. So Saustav, you've passed out your class 12 in the year 2019, and that's when you decided that you would be studying mechanical engineering. So why did you choose, that you would be studying engineering first, and then why did you choose the stream mechanical engineering? And I'll come to the second question immediately once you finish the first. The second question would be, after you had decided that you would be taking up mechanical engineering, what made you select Bennett as a university of your choice where you would be pursuing this course? So we'll start with Saustav first, and the same question will come to Gokul and Puru. So Saustav, over to you.
So the reason why I chose mechanical engineering after doing 12th was because from a young age, I was into building stuff. And I've built a couple of robots in school, went to a lot of competitions. And after 12th, I realized that what's the point of doing science if you can't actually fabricate or make what is there in your mind? And the only field which enables you, or I should not be that specific, but the core field which enables you to build something which actually moves on its own power, for example, or which can do any real life human task and mechanize it and make it automated, the core of it will always be mechanical engineering. And that's the reason why I chose mechanical engineering. The reason why I chose Bennett was due to multiple reasons. Firstly, I went to the website. I was looking for various colleges in India to take admission into. And the reason why I chose Bennett over other colleges was because it had the courses which or the segments in the courses which I wanted. As in the last year, you have specializations and you can choose anything you want. You want to do biomechanics, you want to become an automotive engineer, you want to design planes. You have a vast variety of specializations. That was one of the reasons. The second reason was when I came for a campus visit and I was shown the labs and the projects which the students had made. Like, we have a full-fledged T block which is just a workshop. Like, it's as big as a house, and it just has tools in it for you to make whatever you want: welding, grinding, milling. Every single tool is there, and you can access the workshop anytime you want and make whatever you want. And the teachers are always there to help you. So this entire combination of these things made me want to join Bennett.
Right. Thank you so much for kick-starting the session by answering the questions which normally is into the mind of the students. First of all, why they should choose mechanical engineering is something which is very important. And once they've chosen, it is very important to choose the perfect college or the university where they would be going forward. And you've given up us a host of reasons why they should choose Bennett University. Though I'll come to your immediate junior then. I'll come to Gokul then. Gokul, the same question would be lined up to you also. You've passed out in the year 2020 when we were almost in the middle of a crisis which the COVID had hit us. So what made you choose BTech in mechanical engineering, and why did you select Bennett University? Would be the same question that will come to you.
So I believe that I always had a technical inclination. Like, I always liked building stuff and research more about how everything works. Like, the first question that pondered upon my head when I saw a machine, like, how does this work? So then I dwelled further into research. I thought, yeah, mechanical might be the field for me. And I have a love for cars. Like, I want to build a car once, and I'm a gearhead basically. So for all of those factors, I thought mechanical engineering would be a great field also, because of the fact that it's a field that can, I think, never die, because they will all be people will always need to build stuff, that can never end. So it's a field that will always be there. And secondly, why I joined Bennett University? Yeah, a couple of reasons. Firstly, the Times Group is huge. They have a huge prospects. And I visited the university also. They had state-of-the-art labs, there was huge investments in every section of mechanical, biomechanics, automotive, aerospace. They had a jet propulsion engine, big UTMs. They had a team for SAE2, which was a huge factor for me. So yeah, the state-of-the-art labs, the excellent faculty and facilities. So Also a few more personal reasons, like it was closer to my house. So that was also one factor. So yeah, those are the things.
Right. Thank you, Gokul. I think you would also second what Saustav has said, and in fact, those are the factors that actually makes or breaks a career of a student. And you've rightly pointed out about the infrastructure. You've pointed out about the faculty members, and also you've pointed out mainly about the labs and the curriculum. So we'll come to the junior most student who's taken admission last year. We have Puru with us. Puru, again, the same question will come to you. And in fact, again, while you had done your class 12th, in fact, we knew that the results had been an aggregate of the class 11th and the class 10th, and a lot of confusion was there that whether the classes would be online or not, how would the classes be happening into various universities, whether engineering, if you choose engineering and if the classes doesn't happen, how would you pursue the first year or the second year? The future in short was uncertain. So Puru, over to you. The question would again, same question would follow. Why did you choose BTech Mechanical, and why at the point of pandemic still you decided to go with Bennett University?
Well, for me, I think honestly what Gokul and Saustav Roy have said they've been very clear in why mechanical engineering it's a gem in the field of engineering, because as much as you would learn in other forms of BTech, I think mechanical engineering really grasps the key features of all of them and mixes them up together to make the chemical composition of a perfect engineer. So as a faculty member said as well, that Bennett University considers mechanical engineers as their diamonds in a pile of sand. So yeah, mechanical engineering for me, and it's always been something that I've wanted to do, because just as Gokul Sehgal, I'm also a gearhead. I've also been very, very, very interested in cars and making projects and making projects in general. So I figured that instead of doing something which would require me to sit at a table, I would much rather go outside and build something with my own bare hands, because labor work and practical work for me is the key component in actually growing and building a character that you would prefer in your career. So yeah, and Bennett University, I will be honest, I didn't know much about the university before. But as I researched into it, as I spoke to my senior Gokul, he was the one who convinced me, because we have recently started a Formula SAE project under Gokul and I. And yeah, this was my basic convincing power. But he was the convincing power. And I joined Bennett just because of the amount of education and the amount of facilities they have and the support that they provide for the projects that we want to make as students.
Right. So this is what is very heartening to listen from students who are pursuing this course. In fact, the honest and the best feedbacks comes from students itself. And Puru, you have rightly mentioned that you have been more fascinated by what Gokul has mentioned, and I'm sure most of the students who are watching this webinar and getting a direct feedback from our students of third, second, and first year batches also would enhance and give them a great feedback, which is an honest feedback, which would definitely imply about the curriculum, the kind of honest research opportunities you've spoken about, the infrastructure, which will definitely help. So when I'm talking about a curriculum, Saustav, I'll come to you because you're the senior most in this particular webinar that we're having. Bennett University has got 6 specializations when we talk about this course of mechanical engineering. But we would want to know, when does the specialization come into play? What do you study in the very first year? In short, we want to know from you that you've completed 3 years at the university in studying mechanical. How has the curriculum been shaped, and overall, how has it been helping you in this course of mechanical engineering?
Okay, so tuning down 4 years into just 5 minutes is a big task. But basically, in our college, this is to all the viewers who are watching the stream. In our college, the first semester course is common for every stream. Biotech, we have biotech, we have CSE, we have other fields also. That is for the students to test the waters. And if in case they want to change, they are free to change. So the university gives us that option. But after that, you're committed to your course. And once you are committed, it gets deeper and deeper into specialization. And in the first year, we get the basics of workshop training, of how to use different tools, how to weld, how to use a forge, how to do casting, sand casting, and different various types of casting. And then we move on into simulation work where we use AutoCAD, CATIA, and right now we have recently gotten to CNCs also, like full CNCs and UTMs. And we are learning, and fourth year we are learning H codes, how to use CNCs in a industrial setup, but that's for much later. Then slowly we build up upon various concepts of like fluid dynamics, thermodynamics, every and all concepts which are required as a mechanical engineer. So we go through the hardware part of it, we go through the theoretical part of it, and then the simulation work also keeps on increasing. So keeps on getting more and more advanced, and we have our professors guide us through everything. If we need any help, you can even ask them at 8 in the night, drop them a text if they're free, and they'll still respond to you and help you out. So after that, from simulation, now we have come down to specialization. Now in third year, fourth year, we are given the choice to work on research papers with faculties, or we can work on our own project. Like I am currently working on a hybrid car project, like a very small scale hybrid engine. And these guys are working on their own Supra project, which is basically a racing car, which we are going to build for our college, which will represent our college in SAE Supra. And all in all, our course is very well distributed according to the years and the amount of proportional work they have to do. Like in the fourth year, we are given leeway so that a fourth year timetable is a bit relaxed, so that we can focus on placements, we can apply for education abroad, or we can work on our own research papers and projects. And every semester you have to build a small project and present a report on it. So the course load increases and then drops in the fourth year so that you can work on your own stuff. So that's the summary.
Right. I think we've just told all the details about the course in just not even 5 minutes. You've just taken 3 minutes or maybe, and you've explained, and that's great. I think that is what the students or the audience who are watching us in this live YouTube station and stream session would want. So in brief, the feedback. And as you've mentioned about the curriculum, which is definitely extensive, and the students in the very first year would be studying the basic things, and that's when gradually when they mature they'll be taking up the specializations, and also have got opportunities of exposure, which is very important. When we talk about exposure, it is very important that engineering is a course wherein the practicals, internships, projects plays a very important role. So I'll start with you, Saustav, and I'll come to Gokul then. If you can just explain about the kind of opportunities that have been given to you to internships. If you've done any internship in particular, you can just share your experience too, and how have the internships been helping the students overall in this particular course of mechanical engineering?
So in our college, we, unlike other colleges, so in other colleges, companies come to your college, they take your interviews, they have exams and everything, but it's a very chaotic process. In our college, we have streamlined it to one simple website called Superset, where we just register and make our profile. It's like LinkedIn, but for internships. So we have registered, all of us are registered on that website. And if an internship opportunity comes to the college as a whole, you can apply for it directly through that website, and it's a very transparent process. And we get all sorts of companies. I'm sure if you, like, whoever is watching, like all the people who are watching the stream, you can check out the brochure. All those companies come and more, because we have an internship and a placement department which is constantly sending us mails. You have an internship opportunity, you have an internship opportunity. And honestly, we don't even have time to do all the internships. Like I personally, this summer only, I worked at Maruti Suzuki plant in Gurgaon. So that was a very enlightening experience to me, as I was able to work at the shop floor level and at the office level and see how Maruti Suzuki is a pioneer in car manufacturing. They dominate India's market with 50% market share. So they are churning out cars by the dozen, and it's all mechanical engineers over there. There you won't see a single HR or a CS guy over there. All of them are mechanical engineers. I felt like home over there. So yeah, internship opportunities you'll start getting from your first or second year, and they help you out in your future applications, job applications. Plus you get industrial level training. So there is no shortage of internships here. That's
Right.
that's all I would like to say.
Exactly. So, Gokul, over to you for your experience because you've completed almost 3 years at the university. So, what is your experience about the kind of internships and exposure that you have been given, your batch has been given, and then your thought about how internships help in shaping the career of the students?
So like I completely agree with Roy. There are like plenty of opportunities. Like every day you are spammed with mails like this internship opportunities there. So yeah, there's like no shortage of opportunities. But there's also one factor that I would like to add. It also comes to your networking skills. Like our department offers many field trips, and sometimes company comes to visit and look at projects. So it's up to the students. They can network with the company officials. They can try and get internship from there through from personal channels and by talking to them. So it also comes through your networking capabilities. But either way, there is no shortage of opportunities for internships. And also internships as a whole help students a lot, and basically to set their foot in the industry, get how get a sense of how the water is over there, see how things are done, and eventually they shape their personality, they shape their identities as an engineer to correctly fit into the industry, such that once they've completed their 4 years, they know what to expect from the industry. And for me personally, I've not done any internships right now, like in the holidays, because I'm the proprietor of a business, so I don't really have time for an internship right now, but I will probably do one in the future, like in the 4th year.
Exactly. So the feedbacks are not only important for the students or the parents who are going to enroll, so especially the students who are going to enroll themselves for this year, but I think Puru is also having an exposure about what he is expecting in the couple of years that is lined up in the next future, in the near future. So Puru, my question to you would be, you have completed a year at the university. In the first semester, I think it was online. So it's an amalgamated question that will come to you is your experience so far when you've done your semesters online, the curriculum came to you as Saustav was rightly mentioned, you had to study everything in the very first year. And now when you're going into the second year, you'd be getting the specializations. So what is your overall experience so far in this 1 year of journey that you've completed at Bennett?
Well, I would divide that experience into two parts. One would be my personal life and how well I've adapted to living in Greater Noida and how well I've adapted to living in the hostel. And the other more important one would be my academics and how I've had to transition from shift and how I've had to shift from online school to completely offline in a matter of a minute. So online school, to be very honest, was difficult because you didn't have that personal connection with the teachers. And I realized that this university does not promote how good our faculty is. Like, I will be very honest, my faculty is, I love each and every one of them. There's not a single teacher or there's not a single professor here that I would trade for another because the personal connection that we have with each other is phenomenal. Like, I did not expect that in a university because since childhood we've been taught that, oh, you guys can study like this in school and you guys can ask your teachers doubts in schools, but in universities when you go they're not going to pay any attention to you. But that's a myth because that's not how things work here in Bennett University. And with my personal experience with online school, I think how the timetables and how the schedules and how this academics was based and how it was scheduled around, it was very convenient because everything could happen just like how this webinar is going on. It was through a Zoom link and everything was just easy. But once we came to university, it was a little chaotic. But that chaos suddenly, it transformed into a very streamlined form of just a river. So an ocean just became a river and we started flowing into this very streamlined path of excellence and education. So my first year was very difficult when it came to the basics and the concepts because what they taught us in online school, it was suddenly just offline school. There was so much. But once we got to grasp with everything and once we had made our personal connections with the professors, the second year has been smooth sailing. It has been amazing. And it's honestly been a very, very good experience.
Right. So rightfully explained by Puru as well as by Gokul and Saustav about their experiences so far when it comes to curriculum, when it comes to the internship opportunities, and in fact, Puru has also mentioned about the transition from online to offline. So we'll come to Saustav again. We'll speak about the kind of opportunities you're getting in terms of guest lectures, in terms of projects that the students are doing, and also I'll club it up with the kind of experience that Guru has shared about the faculty members, because at the end of the day, when we take up a course at a university, there are three things that we look up to. Number one is opportunities in terms of internships, in terms of projects. Number two is the kind of infrastructure in terms of labs. And finally, the third part is the kind of faculties who would be teaching me. So overall, I would want to know from you, Saustav, about the projects and the guest lectures and a little feedback about the faculties that are teaching you in this particular program at mechanical engineering.
So, okay, as I said before, every semester we have to make a project, and for that we get assigned a faculty. So you can choose to make anything you want. For example, a student in my batch only, he made a functioning laser CNC, which on two axis actually etched out using a laser. It etched out letters and engravings on wood and metal, which is pretty impressive. So they are free to make whatever they want, and that project is actually counted as a part of your curriculum. It's not like "ठीक है, वो you have done that on your own and now you have to do something of the curriculum." No, you make a project, you give a report, the teachers will give you marks and credit for it. And that's how the system is there in our batches. You're free to make whatever you want. And as far as other projects goes, if you're working with a faculties themselves, they're working on their own research work, so you can help them. For example, recently I am working on a biogas with Dr. Dipali. She's a professor, she's a faculty in our department. So she is making and doing studies on biogas production. So I am helping her fabricate a biogas chamber and a biogas digester all in campus using scrap. So that will be count towards my design project contribution. So you can either make something with whatever you want. It has to be related to mechanical engineering, obviously, and or you can work with the faculty and you'll get the marks for it. So as far as projects go, that's all there is to it. And as far as guest lectures go, we've had a lot of industrial level people come and train us on how to use different machines. As recently we got a UTM, or a universal testing machine, which basically stretches a material to its breaking point, and you can see the stress strain curve called the Young's modulus. You'll learn that in your like years of engineering throughout. So you can test the strength of a material, you can fashion a block of metal into whatever you want. So all these guest lecturers, they came, they taught us how to use these machines, how industrial level work is done. And we've had about 5 to 7 different guest lectures visits throughout our time, and it has been very, very educational. And so what was your third question, sir?
My third question was about the kind of faculty who are teaching you in the class. So what are the extra kind of helps that you've got from the faculty members, and how they've been helping you in shaping your career so far, because you've completed almost 4 years at the university?
Okay, so our faculty is very diversified. You will not find two professors who do the same thing. So we have a fluid dynamics expert, we have a ballistics expert and an automation expert. We have a design engineer and a simulation expert who has actually worked in the industry for very, very big corporations whom I can't name. And we have an energy and a thermodynamics expert. So we have experts in literally all the fields present in our department. And if you have an idea, for example, if you want to work on an engine, you can go to the automotive professor, you can talk to him, and they'll help you out. If you want to build a car, if you want to do simulation work, you can go to our fluid dynamics experts, Danish sir. And so our faculty is very diversified, and I have never ever received no for an answer to a question. Never. If it's a reasonable question, obviously. And like, you can ask them for doubts, they'll be ever ready to help you. You can ask them for reference books, they'll help you source those books also. You can ask them for anything you want and they'll always be there for you. Like, all my faculty, every single time I've had any problem or help, I've given them a call and they've always been there. But this is something which I did not expect in India. Like, I know I should not say this, but I did not expect this, because the student teacher relationship is very strict, and you only refer to them, obviously we call them ma'am, but you put them on a pedestal. But here they are our friends and they help us go through this path of education, and it's beautiful.
Right, and that's overwhelming to hear from a student who is already in the fourth year, because you have been through the part and parcel of the entire journey. As Puru has mentioned, Puru might have done a semester online, or Gokul might have done a year online. You two, along with Gokul, would have done almost 1.5 years of online education at the university, and then again you've migrated to offline. Before that, you had started offline itself. So the kind of feedback that you're giving, because these are the reasons why at the beginning you people told that you've chosen Bennett University. You told about the curriculum, you spoke about the kind of infrastructure you had seen. Now you've spoken about the faculty members, and also the best part is whatever you thought would be happening in a university that you've chosen is actually happening, and that's what it's overwhelming and heartening to see. So I'll come to Gokul, because I'll ask you the same question, not about the guest lectures and projects, because Saustav is informed. I'll start with two things. I'll start with the faculty feedback, which I'm sure Saustav has explained, but then I would want to hear from you too, because you've completed almost 3 years at the university. And along with that, we'll also ask you another important question, because we know engineering without labs, engineering without, the projects that you're doing is not complete. So you also would need to highlight about the kind of labs and apparatus you have at the mechanical department. Before that, I would want to have a little feedback about the kind of faculties that are teaching you while you are doing your course.
So I absolutely agree with Roy. The faculties are like awesome. They help with everything. I mean, firstly, they're teaching, they teach pretty well, and they're always ready to take doubts. There's not much to add after what Roy said, but I'll just like share a small story that I know of a friend of mine, a senior friend of mine, who was having trouble with maths, and a teacher who does not teach math, teaches some mechanical subject, specially taught that student maths because for his math test like separately aside from the curriculum. So that just tells you a whole lot of how helpful the faculty is, and how they're always ready to help you out, even if it's a different subject. And otherwise, the labs that, as I mentioned previously, the labs are state of the art. We have a UTM, we have 2 CNC machines, we have a shaker machine, which basically vibrates up like some specimen at a higher rate to check durability. We have this is on in one lab, and we have other machines in the workshop lab, which has all the welding apparatus, a lathe machine, drilling machine, milling machine, boring machine. We have basically everything a mechanical engineer could possibly need for a project.
Right. So, Saustav, I'll come to you again. And in fact, I'm asking most of the questions to you. As I've told you, you've already completed the almost 4-year part journey at the Department of Mechanical Engineering. I'll come to you. Gokul has told about the kind of state-of-art facilities that are available at the university when it comes to lab. But then only having facilities is not enough. It is kind of the fact that the students must be able to use those facilities. So are you given an opportunity when you can use those labs at any point of your time? When you are having a doubt, is there a facility that you can directly go and jump into the lab, and there would be an instructor or there would be a faculty available to clear your doubts? Are these facilities available at the university level?
Okay, so obviously when we talk about going into the lab, we mean during college hours, obviously, because if you go at 12 in the night, everybody will be like, no, it's closed, can't enter. But if during office hours or during college hours, if you go into any lab, there will always be one lab instructor. So we have 2 lab instructors. One helps us in the digital part of our lab, where we basically where all the computerized machines are, and one helps us in the shop, machine shop, basically where all the mechanical machines are. And if for example, as a student, if you need to go and work there, all you need to do is go to the HOD or our head of department, tell her that, ma'am, I have this project, I want to work on this, can you please give me permission? And you just write one simple mail, that's it, and you can go and work there. No formalities needed, no nothing, all just a paper trail to say that yes, you are working in the workshop, and that's it. That's all you need, and you can go and work there. The lab instructors are ever ready to help you out, and they'll help you with your projects. They'll teach you how to use the machines. I have gone even after office hours when they are there due to some other college work. I have bothered them ki sir aap aao, help me, I am having trouble, this is not working, please help me. They happily come, they readily come, they fix everything, they help you with everything. It's insane how unreal it gets sometimes, because you don't expect this kind of efficiency normally, but this is how it is. So we have oh, by the way, we have the only 3D printing machine in college is owned by the mechanical department, and I have personally used it to make some 3D printed small parts as prototypes. And all you need is just one permission. Go ask your HOD, ma'am, I have a problem. She will say yes. She has no reason to say no. She'll just ask, is there a mentor or a instructor there, or is the lab empty? If there is no instructor, then obviously you need a lab assistant or somebody to be there. But if there is, then she's like, yeah, go work, no problem. That's how transparent and free the system is. You don't need to talk to 10 different people to start working.
Right. I was about to tell the fact, in fact, you've already told that these things, what you're saying is absolutely, that seems absolutely unreal, but these are happening. We are getting genuine feedback from students and not from the faculty members or any staff. And this is something that any student, I'm sure any student or any parent would want. Coming to a university to study is something else, but when you get extra help from a faculty member, when you get extra help from the HOD, that what actually counts. And that's where you yourself as a student get a degree higher when you can go ahead and perform better too. So that is something which is very heartening and wonderful to hear from you. Now we'll migrate from the academic part, because we have spoken about most of the things that normally a student considers when they come for a university into a program. We've spoken about the faculties, we've spoken about curriculum, we've spoken about specializations. We've also spoken about internship, guest lectures, and very lately we've spoken about the kind of labs that are on offer at the university. Now we'll speak about the hostel facilities, because again, when you choose a university, that also the hostel facilities also plays an important role. So Puru, I'll come to you with this question, because you are a hostelite, in fact, and you are still staying in the hostel right now. So what are the kind of facilities that are available to a student at hostel? Are the hostels safe for students to stay? So if you could just brief us about the facilities that are available to a student at the hostel.
Well, Bennett University's hostel is just like every other university's hostel. It feels like home once you get used to it. But obviously, I'm not going to just lie to you and say that it doesn't come with problems. Everything comes with problems. But we have to learn how to adapt, and we have to know what's right and what's wrong. And through that process, through that learning, we'll understand that choosing the right things in life is what actually leads you to a happy life. So I think living in a hostel will teach you that. Living in a hostel isn't supposed to be easy. It isn't supposed to be, okay, here you go, you stay here, you get up at 8 in the morning, go for classes, come back at 5:30, go to sleep. That's not what the hostel life is. A hostel life is making friends, and transitioning those friends into a family. So learning what your friend group is and learning what the right things to do are with your friend group, that is what hostels teach you. And our hostels are state of the art. Honestly, they have amazing facilities. They have whatever you need. Whatever you need, it's readily available. As with our hostels, we have 24/7 shops where we can just go buy a sandwich if we're hungry. You want a coffee because you can't stay up all night and you have a test tomorrow, go for it. The same shop provides coffee for that as well. So yeah, it's very easy living in a hostel. And all in all, it's just been a wonderful experience for me as well.
Right. So we'll come to the seniors again. We'll start with Gokul and then go to Saustav, because we've got a feedback about the hostel facilities. Now we'd want to know more about the clubs, because at Bennett I heard that people believe that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy or Jill a dull girl. So I think there are clubs would enhances your passion if you have one. So Gokul, will come to you. I heard there are approximately more than 30 clubs. So what are the role that the clubs plays, and how the students would be enrolled in the clubs, and what are the facilities they're getting through these various clubs?
So yeah, basically there are tons of clubs in the university for every field you could think of. For example, for engineering, like me myself, I founded a club called Diaries, and Puru is also part of it for all fields of engineering. For CSE, we have ACCM, and we also have another technotics club also for robotics. So, and also for like other activities, like I think Roy is part of Advaita, right? For music related events. We also have a dance club. So basically everything you can think of, and all of these clubs together keep planning collaborations, their individual events. So there's always something to do. There are like, sometimes they organize DJ nights, sometimes they're also gym course something, and it also organizes like competitions, like a weightlifting competitions. So these clubs working together always have something, fun cooking there, and you always have something to do. And to join a club, it's not very difficult. Like these clubs come under some of them come under the student council, others are under department. So always when the freshies arrive, the clubs reach out to the freshies, have their orientations, tell them the freshies about what they're about. And the freshies can just apply to the clubs. They send out the applications. Then it's about if they're well suited to be in the club. But everyone is given an opportunity. Everyone is given the fair opportunity to be part of a club and work with a club, which is honestly pretty fun, and it helps our overall development. It helps us to learn how to work with a team. Also, it's good. It gives us a sense of socializing. Gives us an opportunity to be part of a thing that is bigger than us, and gives us opportunities to socialize with seniors, with juniors, with people from different departments. So you're just not caught in your own bubble. You can socialize with everyone from every field and all of the badges.
Right. So one final question before we end this session, and this will come to you, Saustav. We've spoken about everything that the student desires when they would go for a course like mechanical engineering, considering the fact that obviously Bennett University is providing each and every opportunity that a student is looking forward for a bright future. And when we talk about bright future, what lies ahead is something that we'd want to know. So we would want to know a little bit about the opportunities of higher studies that are there in this course. If Bennett is providing you any opportunities by collaborating with various foreign universities or universities within India, and if you can just touch upon the kind of opportunities that would also come through placements if a student is pursuing the course of mechanical engineering.
Okay, so as far as the scope of future studies goes, mechanical engineering will open up your boundaries. You can go into any engineering field you want. They'll always have a need for mechanical engineering. Bennett University partners with top colleges like Georgia Tech, University of Babson, and other colleges, which I'm sorry, I'm not aware of. But if a student performs better, and if a student performs consistently, he or she can even be given direct admission into those universities based upon their various terms and conditions at the given time. And one can always apply on their own for masters abroad, and having our college's degree will obviously, because our college is striving to achieve the standards of an Ivy League college. That's literally the principle on which our college was founded and is built after. So if one needs to apply for masters, our college partners with top colleges, and you can check out the brochure for the list of the colleges which we partner with. And as far as placement goes, we have a regular stream of companies who come. They take they have their own aptitude tests through which they shortlist different engineers, and that through that a student can get placed. So we have various placements in various fields. As far as mechanical engineering goes, I'm sorry, I'm not that aware about the seniors, but I know personally 2 people who got placed. One got placed in Volvo, and another person is currently working at, I think, Tata or TCS, one of them too. I'm not that aware on this topic. So sorry.
That's fine, perfectly fine. But then you've answered the questions, because at the end of the day, when a student studies engineering, it is two-way right now. Either they can directly go for a job, which you've already mentioned that there are plenty of opportunities, because you just need to crack the interviews. The companies would be brought in by the university. At the end of the day, you just need to crack the interviews. And then the final part is obviously there is a huge scope of higher studies. You can do it at India. You can do it outside India, because Bennett is collaborating with various universities within and outside India too. And at most important point you've mentioned is that if you're a student who scored high, you would also get an opportunity of getting direct admission to these foreign universities, which matters hugely, because students directly applying might not get an opportunity to be selected, but through Bennett, they would get an opportunity. So with that, we would end this session. Thank you so much, my dear students, Saustav, Gokul, and Puru, for being patient, for actually answering all the questions that were sent to us by the students. Before we end, I would just like to mention, as I'm a part of the admissions and marketing team, this is for all the students and all the parents and all the audience who are watching this live streaming today. You know, the admissions at Bennett University are in full swing. The sessions are going to begin from next month, that is September middle. So right now, this is the right opportunity for everybody to apply. The applications are available, application forms, I mean, these are available at the website. So this is the best time for you to apply. And if you've already applied and you're waiting for various questions to be answered, I'm sure the kind of answers that you've got from our students, which is an honest feedback from Saustav, from Gokul and Puru, I'm sure most of the doubts that were there in your mind when it comes to the faculty members, the curriculum and offer, the specializations, most importantly, the labs, the internship facilities, and finally, we also spoke about hostel, campus life, and higher studies have been answered. So please do not wait for any further discussions. If you want to directly write to us, you can write to us at info@bennett.edu.in, info@bennett.edu.in, or you can directly call us at our helpline number 1800-103-8484. We'll be very happy to answer all the questions. Otherwise, obviously, these particular sessions might have opened all doubts. In fact, I've cleared all your doubts, I must say, that we're pertaining to this particular field of mechanical engineering. With that, I would like to end this session until we'll meet again with new set of students for a new course. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening and a great weekend ahead. And thank you so much to all the students that have joined today. And special thanks to my 3 students who've actually answered all the questions with all the patience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.